YouTube. For those who have access to it, feel free to join from here or also join on YouTube. Our channel name is the same, Green Card Easy. And glad to see everyone over here. Welcome, welcome. And for today's session, we are going to cover 3 questions, and then I will take some additional questions as well. But to begin with, because this is the first time I'm doing this on Instagram, tell me if you can hear me okay, if the sound is coming okay. If so, give me a thumbs up so I know, or even put it in the comments you can hear me okay, so I know the voice is all good. Is my sound coming okay for Instagram users? Also on YouTube, if there's anyone who's joined, let me know. Awesome. I'm seeing some thumbs up. So let's get started. First of all, thank you for joining. Very excited to be here. I hope you guys are having a great summer and you guys are excited for your up and coming visa interviews. To begin with, also in the comments, mention which country you're from so I know where you guys are going to interview and I can know where, answer your questions accordingly. Um, So type it in the chat, whether you're from India, Nepal, Pakistan, Bangladesh, anywhere else in the world. We have a worldwide community. Uh, I see some coming in from India. Hi, Varun, Ganga, Aman. Welcome, welcome. So we have quite a few from India and Nepal. Do we have other countries in the house? Let us know. Hey, YouTube viewers, also, we're on Instagram and YouTube. And for those who joined late or are just joining, rather, just wanted to share that this is the first time I'm doing this. So bear with me. This is fun and exciting, but I'm here to help answer some of the questions. So if you, by the way, if you are on Instagram, know that we have our YouTube channel as well, which has a ton of content. And if you are on YouTube, follow us on Instagram because we're going to try to go more live stream in the future. And then we will schedule those so more of our viewers know it. Awesome. So let's do this. Let's dive into at least 3 questions. But before we do, there is some good news for folks in India. The slots have opened up. I hope you guys know this. US Consulate posted and let us know that a couple of days ago, slots have opened up. So I think that is one of the biggest, best news, so to speak, because everyone's eagerly waiting. When can I get some visa interviews, right? So the first question naturally is, do I need to schedule my visa interview in the US Consulate that is closest to my hometown? And this used to be back in the day. For example, if someone, and we'll take India for example, if someone is living close to New Delhi, maybe they're in Punjab, and they are scheduling. It was preferred, not required, but preferred that they schedule in New Delhi because visa consulate used to ask if someone went to Mumbai or Hyderabad or any other city, they would ask, why didn't you schedule your interview to the consulate that's the closest to you? And so luckily, they've recognized that it was causing a huge delay. US Visa Consulate has opened a lot of time slots, and they've worked on it. They've issued record number of visas last year. I think it was over 1 million visas just in India. So worldwide, they're changing rules and they're making slots available. And so the good news is that you no longer are required to schedule your interview in a US consulate that's closest to you. If you are in the same country, that's also okay. That is preferred. However, if you are in a different country, which used to be a strong no-no before, unless you're living there long term, US consulate, US visa officers didn't like that. But that has all now been changed. So whatever is convenient for you, if you get a visa slot take it. There are a few requirements. We won't go into the full details, but you are required to have your I-20 when you appear and to schedule. So make sure all of that is there. But if you see a visa slot, my recommendation is that you take it. So that's good news. And I think that's what most people are waiting for, really. And so let me know in the comments if you have gotten your visa slots already, visa interview, or you are still waiting on it. And I want to monitor the chat really quickly just to see how our audience is doing. So I'm seeing some responses. Some have gotten their slots already. So congrats for those whose interview is scheduled for first. Already we see some first. I see a comment 1st of July. Someone on YouTube is saying my interview is on July 19th. There are some questions on refused. I don't have any official information so far. I'll look into it and then I can post it on the channel. So I'll look out for a post. If you're not following us, follow us on Instagram and YouTube. Um, all right. So next question that I want to cover is, as you guys are preparing for your visa interview. By the way, if you haven't seen our content on Instagram, we have, last year I did 50 questions that are likely to be asked during the visa interview. That's posted on Instagram. It's an easy 1 minute or under follow, 1 minute or under, easy to follow format. If you have more time, if you're looking for something more detailed, I post them on YouTube. And we cover a lot in detail on our YouTube. So if you haven't checked out our YouTube content, please do that. We put in a lot of thoughts into how we produce our content. We've talked to visa officers, we've talked to admission committee members, we've talked to universities. A lot of our content has been collected and comes from official sources, also from current and former students. So let's cover how to answer questions in general. And the second, a follow up to that is, should they be short or long? So essentially, if you're thinking about when the visa officer asks you questions, should your question be long and detailed, or should they be short and to the point? And the answer to this is, it depends. What I mean by that is, normally folks are going to get 2 to 3 minutes for the visa interview. This time is going to go by quickly. You guys are going to feel like it's been done in 10 seconds. That's what people say. A lot of folks come out and say, hey, my visa interview was done in 30 seconds. On average, it's about 2 to 3 minutes. It can take longer. Just because it takes longer, don't get nervous. Just one of our former clients, she's in Dallas actually. Um, and she ran into me in one of the restaurants coincidentally, and she was telling me she followed our visa content on YouTube, and her interview, believe it or not, lasted for 30 minutes. It went on for 30 minutes. What she said was she was confident because of the material she had studied, and she was successful, and she's over here. So obviously that goes to show that that works. um, the so going back to the questions, should the questions be long or short and detailed or not? So think of questions as two types of questions basically. The first question is any why question. Why this university? Why USA? Why why did you choose this program? Anything that is why. And when the US visa officer asks a why question, your focus should be, this answer needs to be long and detailed. It doesn't need to be super long that it lasts for a minute, 2 minutes. I think that'll work to your disadvantage. It needs to be perhaps 15 to 20 seconds long, up to 30 seconds long. And the three things you need to do in that question is, you need to concisely be able to communicate to the visa officer uh, a couple of things: that you are serious about your studies, you have a strong future plan. You need to have a plan. What is your long term plan? And that long term plan needs to include a plan in which you study in the US and plan to depart the US at a minimum, ideally, come back to your home country. And the reason for that is because the F1 student visa is a non immigrant visa. So you have to effectively communicate in those 15 to 20 seconds that you have a long term plan and you will return back to your country, or at least depart the US after completing your studies. And then the second thing you need to communicate is that what your past is, in terms of education, in terms of experience, and how it ties to your future plans. And then the third thing you need to communicate is how your program, the coursework that you're going to, fits into that. So if I were to answer that question, I would almost position it as, this is my long term plan. My past is this, and my long term plan is a continuation of what my studies and experience, if you have any, is. But you can get to the long term plan based on your current information. And for that reason, to achieve your long term plan, you need to get information from the program that you're studying, and that is critical to your success. And when you complete that, how you will take the knowledge and information that you've gained and then continue to work towards your long term plan. So that should be your reasoning, and that is what you should be able to communicate to the visa officer, ideally in 15 to 20 seconds, up to 30 seconds is fine. So those are all your why questions. Everything else, besides the why question, if they ask you how many universities did you apply to, or do you have any relatives in the US, etc., whatever are yes no questions, are very objective questions. Keep them short and simple. If they say how many universities did you apply to, you can answer, I applied to 6 universities. If you've been accepted into 2 or 3, you can say I applied to 6. I was accepted into 2 or 3, just to boost your chances to show. If not, you can just say I applied to 6 or 7 or 8 or whatever your number is, and I got into one, or I got into, or this is my preferred university that I've applied to. So keep those short. If they ask questions like, "Do you have relatives in the U.S.?" If you have them, and by relatives I mean they should either be your direct relatives, your brother, sister, mom, dad, grandparents, or up to your first cousin. If you have like second cousins, you can just say no. Use your discretion, but really just say yes or no. No need to give any explanation. Just keep it short and simple. If the visa officer has any follow-up questions, they will ask. They will ask. They will ask those questions. So this is one of the most important things. Anything that is not a why question, just keep it short and simple. Any questions on what I just shared? Post them in chat. Um, I'll take a quick break just to monitor the comments. And thanks for all the waves, everyone. Wave back. Hi. Hope you're doing well. Awesome. A quick shout out to all you guys. You guys are awesome. Thanks for all the subscriptions and the comments you leave. Really, I read those comments. They're so positive, and you guys are such an awesome community. I just love it. Just a little background. I was a student once. I was in your seat. I was super nervous. And I just do it because life has been kind to me, and I want to pay it forward. I want to help others succeed. That's why I started this whole channel. If you haven't checked out our website, check it out, greencardeasy.com. If you haven't checked out our YouTube channel, it's youtube.com/greencardeasy. If you haven't checked out our Instagram channel, it's again Green Card Easy. And so for YouTube followers here, check out our Instagram. Instagram followers, check out our YouTube. All right. Next up is, I'm gonna just talk about how do you dress for a visa interview. So think about your visa interview as a formal interview, not so much like a job interview, but it is a formal settings. Obviously, you can't show up in a t-shirt like I am right now, because this is a casual setting. That's more like an interview that is very formal. You don't necessarily have to wear For guys, you don't have to wear a full suit with a tie and everything. If you want to wear it, go ahead and wear it. No one's saying no. However, just put on formal clothes like you would dress for a job interview. Collared shirt, button down shirt, slacks or pants, formal pants. Um, you don't necessarily need to wear a tie. Make sure you have, if you have a beard, it's kempt. Your hair is good. Get a haircut. For ladies, depending on which region you are, that may differ. So look at the attire that is acceptable for an office job interview. Again, a lot of these interviews are during summer. Some of the countries tend to get really, really hot, while the US consulates are generally air conditioned. There is a wait time to get in. Sometimes the lines are formed outdoors, so be mindful. Like if you overdress, you might be sweaty and uncomfortable. So dress appropriately, especially in the summer months. You want to be comfortable. At the end of the day, you want to look good. If you're not comfortable, you're not going to be able to perform your best. So keep that in mind. Um, so that's what I would recommend for a visa interview. Dress more conservatively. What I mean by that is no bright colors, obviously. Um, you know, be professional. At the end of the day, if you look professional, that's what matters. That's what matters, and so dress accordingly. If you have any comments or questions, let me know. Someone said good point, so thank you for that. On YouTube, I see someone is saying hello from Kenya, so it's good to see. Also, like for those who joined a little later, earlier I had asked a question, what country are you from? So go ahead and post it in the chat where you're from, what country you're from, whether you've gotten a visa slot, are you waiting on it, and I'll take some questions. Someone says, "Can someone wear a native attire for visa interview?" Sure, it depends on what your native attire is, right? Would you wear that for a job interview? That is a question you should be asking. Does it look professional? If the answer to that question is yes, then absolutely. U.S. visa officer does not, or U.S. visa consulate does not, State Department doesn't say anything specific. If you wanted to show up in jeans and a t-shirt, excuse me, you can. But how likely are you going to impress a visa officer, right? So if your native attire is dressed for the occasion, if it works to impress the visa officer, and you don't need to blow them away, like no one's here like modeling for clothes, but if you want to, if you think it's professional, it looks good, it makes, dressing does influence the outcome to a certain degree. Everything that you're doing influences the outcome. At the end of the day, you want substance, and simply, putting on clean clothes, your shirt is ironed, and everything is looking professional goes a long way. So if your native attire does look professional, absolutely go for it. Mm, What else? Instagrammers. I'm seeing some YouTube questions. What questions do you have? Feel free to chat. How can we convince visa officer while answering F1 questions? We've covered a lot of this in our YouTube channel, so check out the content. But ultimately, there are two things that you need to convince the visa officer. One is that you're genuinely a student, and generally the F1 visa fraud rate is pretty low, so the visa officers aren't too concerned about it. But the second thing, which is the most important, is you need to be able to convince the visa officer that you plan to depart the US after you complete your studies. And one of the biggest mistakes, this is the biggest mistake students make, unsuccessful students make rather, is there are unfortunately a lot of agents in places like India and Nepal who say, hey, these are the questions I'm going to answer. If you memorize these questions, you are going to pass your visa interview. That is the worst advice you ever get, and that's in this regard. And that is the worst approach you can take to a visa interview. Ultimately, the visa interview officers or visa officers are looking for genuine, authentic story. You need to be able to have a conversation with them. You need to be able to convince them by telling your authentic story. If you pretend to tell someone else's story, if you pretend to be someone else, they sniff it out like this. They interview thousands of candidates, hundreds, like many students every day. They've been doing this. That's their job. They can tell very quickly. So my recommendation, and I've always sworn by this, this is the reason why when this is how we coach our students who take our personalized service. If you're interested, it's on like go check it out on greencardez.com/visa dash services or visa services. And then we offer some personalized services. There's a lot of free content available on YouTube, but you need to be able to create your own authentic story. And once you tell your own authentic story, be yourself, that is what they want to see. The visa officers want to see, are you telling you or telling them your story? Is that story like how, like they want you to earn it? As long as they want you, they want to fulfill your dreams. They're there to issue you your visa. That's their goal. Contrary to many people say, oh, they want to reject, they're not getting any pleasure in rejecting. And know this, the university is giving you the admission. The reason why visas are getting rejected are because students get nervous, uh, tell someone else's story, cannot tell their story. Those are the things that lead to rejections. If you can go in there, smile, look confident, have a conversation, tell the visa officers your story, why you want to go to the US, how this is going to help you achieve your long-term goals, how your long-term goals are based out of, outside of the US. Those are the things that get you the or that gets you the approval. Um, Someone says, I have received the I-20 yesterday. Can I book an interview and meet the school arrival deadlines? It depends on when is your school arrival deadline. Are you talking about fall 2024? If so, you have plenty of time. I'm not sure if you're talking about a summer semester. So, Kundan, no, this is Brad Lean. If you want to follow up by saying what semester you're going for, I can better answer your questions. But if you're going for your fall 2024, I think you have plenty of time and chances to make that deadline. Someone's asking, sir, can you take visa mock interview? Yeah, we do. We provide the service. Go to greencardez.com/visa services, and then you should be able to see what we offer. We offer a strategy session. We offer mock visa interviews, and we have an extremely high approval rate because we follow a method that is exactly what the visa officers are looking for. So we have insanely successful rates. Lately, one in every three people have been rejected in for the last 2 3 years. I don't have the statistics for 2023 memorized, but I think the rejection rate was 35%, which was a little higher than 2022. However, like I said, our students have been successful because they follow the framework that we're suggesting, which allows everyone to come up with their story. And then Bradley, you said fall 2024, perfect. You have all of summer. You should be able to schedule interviews and make that deadline orientation, international orientation, which will typically be a week prior to like regular orientation, I would imagine. So you have plenty of time. And then also, by the way, this is something that is extremely important. I almost forgot to tell you guys this. Go to our website. We have a community.greencardez.com. You can also go to greencardez.com and up top click discussions or community. In that community, which is community.greencardez.com, talk to each other, form a community. One of the most important things that's going to help you succeed in as an international student is that strong community. And you don't need me or my team members to answer. A lot of students are there already. So go ahead and participate. If you haven't checked it out, go ahead and check it out. Um, and help each other out. One of the things that I remember from back in the day when I was a student, maybe things have changed now. Maybe the culture has changed, but a lot of folks, there weren't as many forums available, so the information wasn't freely flowing. Folks weren't really sharing or didn't have the means to share information, and so that has changed. So take advantage of that, form that strong community, and rely on each other, help each other be successful. I'm a strong and a firm believer of what you put out in the universe, you get 10 times back. So go ahead, help each other out. This is one of the reasons why I do it, because I want to help folks. I was lucky enough to successfully get my visa to come to the US, work, and now I have my U.S. citizenship. Whether you want to live in the U.S. later or not, that doesn't matter. But what's important is having that strong community. And when what helped me essentially is relying on my friends, the community that I formed in the U.S., both in person and online community, and that was immensely beneficial. Uh, I'm gonna try to scroll and see. There was a question. What can we say if we haven't done anything in the gap year? There we get this quite a bit. Also, if you guys haven't done anything in your gap year, not a big deal. Like, try to answer that question by focusing on what essentially have you did you take time to research your university? Did you take time to volunteer? Did you take time to do anything that ladders up to your long-term goal? That's how you would that's how you would answer it. There's a YouTube question that says, "Can you please answer why USA?" We have a YouTube video. I think it's about 15-20 minutes long. Why USA? Please check it out. But I summarized it a little while ago. You have to be able to tell your story. What is your long term goal? What is your past experience and education, and how USA or how that university essentially and that program will help you achieve that goal. And essentially, because that university and that goal and program is based in USA, that's why that's the gist of it. But we go into a lot more detail in that. So check it out. Uh, we've been on for about 20-25 minutes. I am going to do this more regularly. So if you haven't, pretty much at this time, it's Saturday morning here in the US. I'm going to post my schedules when I'm going to go live in the future on Instagram and YouTube. So, YouTubers, if you haven't um, subscribed to or followed us on Instagram, go ahead and do that. We're at Green Card Easy on for Instagrammers. If you guys haven't checked out our YouTube content, highly recommend it. I think I'm gonna end the live stream pretty soon here. Um, I need to get going, run some errands also, and I'm gonna do this regularly. And so go on community.greencardeasy.com. Post your questions there. I will answer those there as well as cover those in the live stream. And if you're posting questions there, go to community.greencardeasy.com and let me know. Comment here whether you like the live stream. Let me know if you didn't like it. That's okay too. But leave your frank comments. That's what I strive for, and how we can get better collectively. So thank you for all the hearts. Thank you for tuning in. Loved having you guys here, and I'll be on regularly. Post your questions in at community.greencardeasy.com. Check out our Instagram content, YouTube content, and I'm cheering for you guys and your success. So I'm here to help you guys succeed. My team is here to help you succeed. So again, check us out on our YouTube, Instagram channels, our website, greencardeasy.com. And if you're interested in visa services, go to, once you go to greencardeasy.com, up top there's expert services or visa services, and then you can go check that out. All right. Well, I'm going to conclude our live stream here. Great chatting with you, and I will talk to you guys again next week. Bye, everyone.